In this video we will make a papercut LightBox design in Procreate, and in the end I will show you how to animate it easily. Before we get started, you can download tutorial files for free via the link below. If you like my YouTube videos, you can access even more tutorials and brush sets on my Patreon. You can check it out via the link in the video description below. Now let's grab our pencils and get started. The canvas we will use is a 2000 by 2500 pixels canvas. Let's go to the color palette and grab the first color. Our LightBox will have 6 different layers of paper, so we have one color for each layer, a background color, and the last one is for the glow effect. First I will show you how to draw this frame layer that looks like tree branches. I would recommend you to follow along and draw your own with me, but if you want to skip that part, you can use this frame step I added here to the tutorial brush set. You can just select it, tap on the canvas with a big brush size, and then fit it to the canvas using transformation. If you want to draw your own, this is how you do it. First let's go to the inking set and select Technical Pen. To get smooth lines, you can go ahead and set the streamline to maximum in stabilization settings. We can now set the size to 20% and draw a random curvy shape inside the canvas. It can have some bigger and some smaller curves. Just make sure it is close to the sides of our canvas, because we will have some more layers under this one. After we connect it, we can continue with drawing some curvy shapes around the big curve. They may have different shapes, but let's make sure their sides are parallel to the big curve, so they are in a harmony. You can make them similar to mine, or any shape you like. Some of them will be big and some will be small. We are just surrounding all around the curve with little curvy shapes. And if you change your streamline setting, you will see that your lines are more smooth. Let me speed up this part of the video, as I will just draw curves until it is filled all around. Okay, now that we have our first layer shape ready, we can fill it with color. I'll start dragging the color and adjust the color drop threshold. After that I will determine the tree trunk that will go across the canvas. And I will make these lines very curvy. It will go to the left side, then down, and at the bottom I will match it with the shape. Let me add another shape here. I'll turn this side into a branch, and then finish the trunk. After that I will continue drawing more curves inside this area that will look similar to the ones we created before. I will draw these shapes so that they form a silhouette of tree branches. Make them curvy and match them with this frame we created in the beginning of the video. I find this process very enthralling. It's like making a puzzle, matching bigger and smaller shapes. Once the tree shape is ready, we can also fill it. Then I will add the small details on the trunk. Now it is completely ready. We got the first paper layer, and to make the second one, we can simply duplicate the current layer with the tree. Let's keep the top layer as it is and go to the second one. We can also rename it to layer 2, so we don't get confused. After that, select the second color from the palette and drag it on the layer to recolor it. We will get this dark brown color. Now let's click on the arrow and first flip the layer horizontal. After that we can scale it uniformly and move a little up and to the right, so we can see only this branch, but the trunk is not seen. After that we can create one more layer and place it below all layers. Now we will proceed to drawing. And of course we need to select the next color for the third layer. I think for drawing we can continue using Technical Pen. I will just outline the frame like this, at some distance from the previous two. I will connect the edges and fill the area outside the line. This is what we will get. I think I will toggle this to layers, so you can see what we are doing. So now I will go to adjustments, and from this list select liquify. We can first use expand mode, where I set pressure and distortion to max, but without momentum. I will just go along the edges to add more curves to it. And if we change the direction, we will get different shapes. Also, we can try to use push and add bigger curves. In the end, we will get a frame like this. Now let's switch to crystals, where the pressure and distortion are also set to max. And the size can be set to around 45%. I'll just go along the edges to imitate the grass, but actually it'll go all over the shape. Now if we bring back the layers, we will get a result like this. For the next layer I will duplicate the current one. Let's also rename it. It will be fourth layer. Then I will recolor it to the fourth color by dragging it on the layer. And this time we can flip it both vertical and horizontal. After that, switch to freeform and drag it like this, so it will become visible. Now let's duplicate the third layer again and also place it below all layers. This will be layer number 5. And we will recolor it to the fifth color. This time we can flip it either vertical or horizontal. Let me flip it horizontal. Then I will also transform it in freeform, just dragging the sides inwards. Finally, I will duplicate the third layer one last time, also drag it down and rename it to layer 6. So let's select the last color, which is layer 6. Also fill it. And I will flip this one vertical. Then also transform it. Let's make sure we have some space for the character between the tree and the right edge. So I will move it like this. Now these base shapes are ready. Let's create another layer for the background. Also drag it down and fill it with the background color. Now we can start adding the glow and turn our paper design into LightBox. First of all, I will duplicate each paper layer once, except the yellow background. Then I will go to the color palette and pick the color that is called glow. It's this light yellow. Now I will be tapping and holding on every second layer and recoloring it into this yellow color. This way we will have more control. The last one. Then I will tap and hold again to bring back all the layers. Now let's select all these light yellow layers by sliding to the right. Click on the arrow and move them slightly up, around 1 or 2 pixels. After that, we need to duplicate these yellow layers again. And blur the new layers using Gaussian blur. We can set it to around 8 or 9%. So I will do it with all layers, using the same amount. At my end it is 9%. So I'm just going to the layer and sliding to the right to 9%. The last one. I think for the first two layers we can lower the opacity a little, since the color is very dark. On the first layer I will set it to 50%, and on the second layer around 60%. After that I will set all these layers to add mode, so they start to shine. I'm applying this mode to all blurry layers. And this is the effect we will get. I think we can also select all these blurry layers and move them a little. They may go a little upper and to the side. Let's now continue working on the background and go to this yellow layer. Here I will create another layer above it. Go to the color disk and double tap here to select pure white color. From the brush set I will select this pattern with the trees and draw on the background with a single stroke. After that we can also try to change the layer's blending mode and set it to vivid light. Then I will create one more layer above it, continue using white color and go to spray paints. First I will select the brush with flicks, set it to full opacity and the size around 18%. I will tap a few times on top of the background to add the shiny stars. They are not shining yet, so we can go and set the layers mode to add first, and then apply Gaussian blur, just a little bit. I'll set it to around 3%, and we will see the glow. After that I will select Fat Nozzle brush from the same set, set the opacity around 60% and the size around 46%. Tap at the lower part. We can even try to make strokes. That will go up. And we will see this noise texture. Now let's create one more layer above the current one. Select the fifth color and go back to the brush set to pick a stamp with a character. Here you can find a few of them, and they are all made in the same style, so you can pick any one you like. I will be using deer. I'll set the size to 23% and tap on the background. After that I will move it and place it on the ground, like this. Then I'll create a layer above it and clip. I just want to add a gradient on it. So I will first select the sixth color, go to selection and outline a rectangle at the lower part of the deer. Here I have color fill option turned on, so the rectangle will be filled. Then I will deselect and select the fourth color. I will outline the top part of the deer. Once it is filled, I will select a darker color number 3 and outline another rectangle on the horns. Now that we have the colors, we can apply Gaussian blur to get the gradient. Here I will set it to around 20%. I'll go ahead and merge all the layers. And now our LightBox design is ready. You can now go ahead and save it as a PNG if you like. In the next part I will show you how to turn it into an amazing animation with changing colors. So let's start. Let's now duplicate the layer, go to the one below And if we open Hue Saturation Brightness from Adjustments, we will see that the hue is set to 50%. Let's set it to 45 now. Then duplicate the current layer, go to the one below, and change the hue to 40%. I will continue duplicating the layers and lower the hue by 5% each time, until it reaches 0%. "25, 20, 15, 10, then 5, and the last one will be set to none. Now let's duplicate the first layer, and this time I will be increasing the hue by 5%, so this layer will be set to 55. Then I will continue duplicating and changing it. 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, then 90, and the last one will be set to 95%. Let's now go to Actions, Canvas, and activate Animation Assist. Let's try to play the animation. The colors are changing too fast, so we can go to Settings and lower the amount of frames per second. It can be set to 3 or 4. To make the video longer, we can select all the layers, like this. And drag them on the canvas to copy. This is how it will look. If you'd like to share it on Instagram as a video, you can go to Actions, Share, and save it as animated MP4. I prefer saving it in max resolution. And there is an option to change the frames per second amount as well. You just need to click Export and save the video. Our Lightbox design is completely ready now. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can also access tons of other tutorials on my Patreon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.